Yahbashim Shabakatah to the brothers, Shalom Yahushua Yahbashim Yahushua to the sisters, the water for holding it down. You know what I'm saying? Same thing just working today, boy. Like, man. But we got it all worked out. You know what I'm saying? Satan is definitely working, but it don't stop nothing. That's definitely one of the things you want to watch out for, you know.
That's right.
If there's ever a time where it seems like, you know, Satan is trying to keep you, you know, from doing something or getting something done, you know, just keep pushing through even more. You know what I'm saying? Keep pushing through even more. All right. We're gonna get into it, man. I definitely want to. I know y'all probably already seen. If y'all haven't already, but first and foremost, if you haven't already shared the class, please do that. Go over to YouTube, hit like and subscribe to the classes. Share those classes as well. We're streaming on all those YouTube and social media. But it really helps with the algorithm to go ahead and like and share the classes, okay? So if you didn't already do that, please go ahead and knock that out real fast. But like I was saying, yeah, if there's ever a time, Zion, come over here. Right, sit right here.
I should go to the bathroom.
Go ahead. Sit down. Yeah, sit right there. Yeah, go sit right there. You all right. All right. But yeah, like I said, if there's ever a time in life where Satan is holding you back, holding you down, keeping you from, you know, doing the job that you got to get done, you got something that you're trying to do and get done, make sure you push through even harder to get it done. Because Satan is trying, it's a reason Satan trying to keep you from getting to this class, getting to this job interview, you know, getting this assignment completed. There's, you know, it must be something amazing that's going to happen for you if you get this thing done. If you push through that weakness, that sense of lethargicness, laziness, or being a coward.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Being a coward, man, and making excuses of why you want to get high, why you want to be an alcoholic instead of taking care of business. You got to continue to push through those things. You know what I'm saying? And when you push through, did you get it done?
I forgot where the bathroom door was.
Okay, you got it. Okay. So yeah, just keep pushing through. All right. Anytime that happens, man, just go ahead and push through and push through and push through, and don't let nothing deter you from getting what the Lord has for you. Because a lot of times that's what happens, stopping something that the Most God got for you, some lesson that the Lord wants you to learn from, and you just want to keep pushing through it, man, and keep pushing regardless. Okay. And so just always keep that in mind.
That's right.
Don't let Satan win those battles. But on top of that, you know, the Most High, man, you know, he always does it. You know what I'm saying? He always shows the people, you know, why this is the home of the truth and the only home of the truth, and you shouldn't be listening to nobody else. I know y'all see Creflo Dollar come out talking about how he should not have been taking tithes. He should not. He didn't know. No, he's still learning after 30 plus years. He's still learning. He's just a baby trying to figure it out. But then robbed y'all for a jet and a mansion and everything else. Go ahead.
I don't listen to them. I don't listen to them that way to count.
Right there.
Black people number. Yeah, UPK, you're not in the truth.
Damn right. You know what I'm saying? And that's Rocketay Hawaii Hawashaka. That's only because of the Lord. You know what I mean? That's the case. But y'all been listening to these Creflo Dollars, and he wasn't the only one. It was another Biddy something, some Arab looking dude. I forget his name. But he came out talking about this prosperity gospel, how they was wrong and they begging for forgiveness, and they coming so humbly and saying how they don't know. How you don't know what you've been teaching? You have no idea. You've been teaching this thing for 30 years and had no idea what you was teaching, but you have made millions of dollars off of poor black people, rich black people, just millions. And now you want to come out and say, man, I had no idea. You know, I should not have been teaching about tithes. When in the UPK, man, I'm talking about, I think every camp speaker that we out there, we tell y'all, how do your Christian pastors teach you that the law is done away with and that you under grace, but then they collecting tithes?
Right.
How does that work? Tithes is the law. And they say the law is done away, so it never made sense. But they didn't get rich now. You know, he got his jets, he got his millions. Because in all the clips I didn't seen so far, I haven't seen one clip of him saying he's going to reimburse that money. I mean, none of them. You know, if somebody got that clip of them saying, you know, they're going to give that money back, you know, we're going to reimburse that money. You know, we were wrong for taking that. We swindled y'all out of. If y'all got that clip, please go ahead and send that in. Cause I would love to see it. I would love to see that clip of them showing that they are just. Hey, Shalom says, I would love to see that clip of them showing like, hey, yeah, we're going to give this money back. We should have never took it. You know, it was wrong of us to take that money. We're going to reimburse the people. But I highly doubt that clip is ever going to come. Okay, so that's what's absolutely going on. If you could, okay, they come out and say you take over for Maccabi, but he got them together. But yeah, you probably never going to see that clip. So it was Creflo Dollar came out first, and then the other dude, Benny, what's his name? Benny what? What's the other dude who came out? Benny something just came out about this prosperity gospel, about how he's sorry for taking y'all money as well. But I did not see that clip of them saying they're going to give the money back in any kind of form or fashion. They're just saying charge it to my ignorance. You know what I'm saying? Charge it to my ignorance. But like I said, make sure y'all share the class. I'm making sure I do it myself because you never know who needs to get this truth. But so we saw that happen. So that was one thing, and then we saw y'all other Christian church, that purple group, you know, get beat up by another Christian church on camera by Christian women, you know, beating them all upside the head with shoes and all type of stuff out there. If you could, give me that story. I need that when them priests got the snot beat out and got beat out their clothes in the scriptures. They got, you know, they beat them out their clothes in the scriptures, man. It was absolutely, you know, it was really embarrassing what we just witnessed with IUIC. That was absolutely embarrassing. It was an embarrassing thing to behold. But you know, that's what happens. But it's a story that it reminded me of in the scriptures that these guys who thought they was trying to preach the word of God and things like that, and the demons, you know, had no respect for them. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They had no respect for them, and they beat them to death. You know, almost like they beat them down. It was terrible. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, step out the door, brother.
You want to say this, sir?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, I got
But yeah, so they got beat. They got beat up out there by a lady in a stiletto, a high heel, or whatever she had on. The old church women was beating them boys to death, and it was shameful and embarrassing because they're trying and that's why we say all the time before our videos, do not try this at home. These men are trained professionals. Don't go out there trying to do what you've seen us do, what you know, and you go out there, you have no idea what you're doing, and you get beat by Christian women, you know what I'm saying? But it was very shameful, man, and it just showed who the Lord was with at that time.
Right.
It showed who the Lord was with, and like I said, it was very shameful that y'all went out and represented like that. And so that was there. It was so many things where Christians, these fake Israelite groups, just was embarrassed. Even Kendrick Lamar, you know, he was in one of y'all fake Israelite groups. You know what I'm saying? And he went on the IUIC. He was in them too. That was with them. Who he was learning from. He was learning, right? So that the spirit was on him. That Christian spirit was on him, and now he's in the BET Awards talking about women's rights. They judge Christ. They judge you. It was disgusting, gay. I don't know if y'all saw it. You know, they judge Christ. Like they say, they judge women's rights. They judge women. They judge you. They judge Christ. They judge who the girl Christ. Stand up for women's rights. It was terrible, man. talking about standing up for murdering babies, man, and they've been putting that in the same definition, in the same sentence, Salaki, as Christ, and what Christ did and what he sacrificed for the people, man, it was absolutely disgusting. You know, and it's the Christian spirit. I seen another meme about that. Somebody said, how can I abort my baby? Christ, God aborted his son. He sent his son to die. Something, it just, oh my God. I'm like, but that, you know, it's terrible, man. It's absolutely terrible. And, but that's the Christian church, and that's what, but they've been getting so exposed, man. And, so we're going to get a couple of these scriptures, you know, just to shine some light on some of this madness that's going on in the earth. And, man, it's like I said, it was. You ever had that secondhand embarrassment? Have y'all ever heard of that? Like you can't even watch somebody because you're embarrassed for them. Like I can't even watch you because I'm embarrassed for how terrible. That's how I felt with sidebar when Mario was doing Omarion like that, doing that verse. I was embarrassed for that, brother. It was just a terrible look. But that's how I felt with IUIC the other day, seeing them get beat out, you know, them Christian women and out there, you know, and just being ashamed, getting stripped naked. One of them, you know, they was stripping their clothes off, beating them. They all on top of them. It was man, it was absolutely terrible, man. And you know, yeah, I'm sad for y'all, brother, that y'all had to suffer that. You know, that's a sad thing, you know, that you have to do. But we've been telling y'all, you know, to come back into the truth, learn how to defend yourself. That's why we do Hebrew Academy. That's why we train, because we train for the potential threat of violence. We know violence is going to happen. We prepare for violence. You think that y'all was softer than the Christians that day? Y'all, well, y'all Christians too. So, but y'all was softer than the Christians who y'all thought was softer than y'all. Right. And they came out there beating y'all up, putting guns on y'all, all type of stuff. It was terrible, man. Right. But if you would be around real men of the Lord, you would know to prepare for things like that and train for things like that and not be doing what y'all was doing anyway. You know what I'm saying? A lot of that stuff was like against the law to be going up on them Christians properties after that mass shooting and stuff like that now. So it's just so many levels to it, man. But I want to get to this story in the scriptures, man, that absolutely speaks to that situation. It was a terrible situation. We're going to get into that. And I also want to get into a couple of questions that came through about, you know, some of the things about drinking, you know what I'm saying, and drinking and drug addiction that came up. And it's very, that's a problem in our community. You know, we're trying to self-medicate is really what it is. Self-medication. Some of it is just, you know, weakness, you know, just being weak to your flesh and, you know, wanting to find any way to escape reality, you know, for just, even if it's for a split second. And that's why I love the truth, because like we say, there's no cowards, no excuses. That's right. There's no excuse for being an alcoholic. There's no excuse for being a drug addict. Okay, we are like the scriptures say, there's nothing that nobody has went through that no man has suffered. I'm paraphrasing that. But everything that you're going through, I feel like you are going through that seems like, oh, why me, why me? Somebody has went through it. You know, you're not the only one. Okay. So go ahead. Let's get into that real swift, man. To kind of speak on and touch on what happened to those brothers out there trying to be us. You know, doing a shameful job of it. That's why we say we are not associated or affiliated with no Hebrew Israelite groups. Not just because of that, because of all the disgusting teachings with the rape teachings and the, you know, and so many other disgusting teachings that you teach that would even make a Christian group feel like they can do something to you like that. But that's why we say we're not associated or affiliated, but we do have empathy. And that was a sad case, man. Go ahead, let's get it.
Come. Luke chapter 10, verse 30. And Yahushua answering said, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment
Look,
Raining.
so, right, a certain man, they went down there. And I think you might be able to go a little bit above. I think that's getting right to it.
Yeah, it is. That's
You know what I'm saying?
it's like 6 verses.
Yeah.
Right to it.
So you might can go maybe 2 above that.
Come.
But just let me see if that's what I'm looking for.
So 2 above right now?
Yeah, come.
All right. Luke chapter 10, verse 28. And he said unto him, Thou hast answered right. This do, and thou shalt live. Actually, probably a little bit more above that.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let me do 2 more. Verse 26. He said unto him, What is written in the law? How readest thou? Verse 27. And he answering said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself.
Right. And he's showing him, just talking to him about what you got to do to make sure that the Lord is with you.
Right.
Like, this is the thing you got to do. You got to love yourself. And there's nothing about that purple group that shows that they love you like they love themselves, because they tell you, hey, man, we're going to call the police on you if you got a warrant. Jesus Christ had a warrant. Man, you can't, we're going to open our nation up to, the Africans. We're going to tell you, you can only have one woman, one wife, and things like that. But they're not watching out for you, because that's not in the scriptures. That's their personal, what they can say in the church, that's their personal relationship with the Lord. And what they do to their people, they got them shooting transvestites in the face. You know what I mean? Killing Africans killing Joy Morgan because he was only supposed to have one wife, so he had to try to kill the woman and hide the evidence. When if you wanted to do something like that, you could just say, hey, man, this is what I believe in. I'm gonna just say I would advise y'all not to get multiple wives if that's what you want to do. If you want to say something like that, like I would advise against it, y'all ain't ready, boom, boom, fine. But don't say that it's against the Most High, because now you got brothers shooting trans, trying to go get whole prostitutes, buying prostitutes, and then they buying a homosexual transvestite and shoot a transvestite in the face. And that's giving them the benefit of the doubt, because we call them purple homosexuals. So he probably bought the transvestite on purpose, who knows? But let's just say he wasn't, and he was just out there trying to get by vagina. He wouldn't have to do that if you wouldn't try to deny him wives. Go ahead, brother.
I just want to say, do you think a certain man shouldn't have woman's man because he's not prudent enough to have them, or you just don't know the Lord?
Right. And that's scripture. It's not what I think.
Right.
The scriptures say you gotta be ready. Right. You know what I mean? You gotta be, it say seek first the kingdom of heaven and all his righteousness, and then all those things be added unto you. Right. So you gotta do that part first. Right. You know what I mean? Like, you just can't go, you gotta seek first the kingdom. That means keeping the law, statutes, and commandments, getting your life right, getting your mental right, getting your spirit right, and then you will be prepared to take on somebody else's life. Because that's what being as a man, that's what getting a woman is. You presiding over somebody's whole life. Not to mention if you bring children in the world, now you're presiding over children's lives. So you absolutely have to have yourself together and have your mental in order and your spirit right with the Most High before you can get any of those things. So that was a good question. But you're absolutely right about that. Yeah. Okay, let's go ahead. Go ahead.
I want to say one more thing. What do you know this woman married a husband and she keep trying to go with you or sleep with you? So I confirm.
Say that one more time.
Why do you know this woman keep trying to go to bed and sleep with her? She got a husband. Why don't you still confront his husband or maybe your wife?
So let me make sure I heard you properly. If a woman tries to sleep with you and she has a husband, right? So you absolutely, at 100% don't do it, right? Because if she's doing that to him, she's absolutely gonna do that to you,
right?
Okay, right. And if that brother, you definitely want to be a brother to that brother and say, you know what I'm saying, brother, this woman is doing these things. Hey, you need to get your household, you know what I'm saying, And I'm just letting you know, because you could be saving his life. Because if she's doing that with you, you can imagine, only imagine who else she's doing it with. So you're not only saving yourself from getting AIDS or being murdered by the husband, you could be saving another brother from that same fate by getting letting that brother know, what's going on, if you can. But what you want to do, you absolutely first and foremost, just stay out of it. If you try to get away from me, stay away from me, don't contact me, you don't talk to that sister. If she got you block her from all social medias, all calls, and you just act like she don't exist. You cut her completely off and let her know, you are a disgusting whore, and things like that. You just you want to absolutely get yourself out of that situation because that situation can get you put to death.
That's
and that
right.
thus says Lord. Grab that. You know what I'm talking about. It would be no mercy in the day of wrath for that. You know what I mean? Yeah. No ransom, no nothing. The scriptures say that about that. So if a woman, and that's for anybody out there, for women, and what's this dude name who just got murdered the other day by Trouble. That's the most recent. We can go all the way back to OJ. I think OJ was along the same lines of why he wanted to murder that devil, that oppressor, all of those things. Yeah. So yeah, you want to absolutely, any of you brothers out there, that's considering or messing with another man's woman and doing things like that, you are playing with fire and you're gonna get put to death.
That's
One
right.
way or another. You're gonna get put to death by him, or that woman's gonna give you some kind of disease that's gonna put you to death, or you're gonna get, the Lord is gonna allow you to get put to death by some freak accident or something, but it's gonna happen to you.
I got that. If you want me to stop on Luke for a second, you stop.
Yeah, just real quick, just to answer his question. Let's just grab that because that's a quick one.
Yeah,
And then we'll get back to the story. But this is just for you brothers who is contemplating sleeping with another man's woman.
Proverbs chapter 6, verse 32. But whoso committeth adultery with a woman lacketh understanding.
Whoso what?
Whoso committed Salaki, but whoso committed adultery with a woman lacketh understanding.
But whoso committed adultery with a woman lacketh understanding. You don't know what you're doing. You are outside your mind. You are doing everything that's in contrary to the will of the Lord, and it's going to come back to hurt you. But we're going to let the scripture speak. Keep going.
He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul.
He that do what?
He that doeth it destroyeth his own soul.
If you commit adultery with another man's wife, you're destroying your own soul. Your flesh is going to be destroyed. And then when you go stand before the Most High, you're going to have to go back through hell again because of why you was put to death. Because it says, fear not him who can kill the body on earth, which is her husband, but you also didn't even fear the man that can kill the body and the soul, which is the Most High. And that's what's going to happen to you. Your body and soul are going to be put in damnation. You're going to be put to death physically and spiritually by the Most High. Okay? Keep going.
Come. Verse 33. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away.
Read that again.
Come. A wound and dishonor shall he get.
A wound and dishonor. Like I said, you wounded, physically you're going to get hurt. And spiritually, you're going to be dishonored. You're going to be dishonored not only on earth, but in the eyes of the Most High. When you get judged for what you're doing. Go ahead.
Come. And his reproach shall not be wiped away.
His reproach shall not be wiped away. Your indiscretion shall not be wiped away. Because of the level of disrespect. Hey, you guys. Hey, let's keep it down back there, Zion. Let's keep it down. Read that again, Salaki.
Come. Verse 33. A wound and dishonor shall he get, and his reproach shall not be wiped away.
His reproach shall not be wiped away. That disrespect that you did, that evil thing, that dishonorable thing that you did won't be just wiped away. You're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for it. Thus says the Lord. Go ahead.
Come. Verse 34. For jealousy is the rage of a man.
For what?
For jealousy is the rage of a man.
For jealousy is the rage of a man. Don't play with no man's woman. That's gonna make him extremely jealous. And you ain't gonna, your soul, your reputation, everything's gonna be ripped apart by this situation. Brothers is willing to kill and die for their women. You understand? Because a lot of you brothers, the reason you do those things is because somebody did it to you.
Right.
You know, that's a lot of times the situation. Somebody hurt your feelings, some brother slept with your woman, so now you want to pay every brother back. Now you want to pay it forward to brothers who didn't sleep with your woman. But how did you feel that time? But you were just too much of a coward to go kill the man that slept with your woman. So what you decided to do was sleep with everybody else's woman. Okay? Because you was a coward. You know, you want to hurt yourself. You want to commit suicide. Because it sounds like a suicide mission is what this is, going to sleep with somebody else's wife. You want to commit suicide by jealous husband. Just like it's suicide by cops, suicide by jumping off a building. You want to commit, suicide by cops, suicide by jumping off a building, whatever. Suicide by constant smoking of cigarettes. Suicide by constant smoking of weed. Yeah, it's suicide. It's self-destructive behavior. You want to die.
Right.
You want to smoke yourself to death. With all the chances that you get, you still want to smoke. So, okay, no sweat. The Lord gonna give you cancer and you're gonna die. That's how we're gonna take you out. Because you refuse to stop smoking. You refuse to stop sleeping with other men's wives. So you're gonna get put to death this way. Go ahead.
So God. Therefore, he would not spare in the day of vengeance.
Read a little bit, go back to that part above that and then go into that. Above that, what you just read, this one right above that.
Yes, sir. For jealousy is the rage of a man.
Jealousy is the rage of a man. Remember that. That's a suicide mission that you want, because you're going to make a man so jealous that what?
Come. Therefore, he will not
spare in the day of vengeance. He's not going to spare your feelings, your sorries, maybe even your payment of
That's an express.
Oh, look, go ahead, read. He's not going to spare you in the day of vengeance. Keep going.
Last verse 35. He would not regard any ransom.
Right, no ransom. Nothing that you can give him is going to matter, because that woman is what matters to him.
Right.
How many times you've seen brothers off they self behind a woman, ruin their lives, ruin their family behind the woman. Wars started in the earth behind women. Brothers love their women.
Right.
But you were so much of a coward, the man who slept with your woman, you didn't do nothing about it. You just decided to go on a suicide mission of sleeping with other men's women. And that when that man catches you sleeping with his woman, he puts that pistol in your mouth and blow your brains out. You're gonna remember this, you hearing this. You're gonna be like, man, this was my warning. But I ain't take heed to it because he wasn't dressed like Creflo Dollar and TD Jakes.
Right.
You know, he was just a nigga from the hood like Christ. If you didn't know, yeah, Christ was just a nigga from the hood. If you go look up what the city of Nazareth was, it was one of the worst hoods in Jerusalem.
Right.
Okay? Nigga from the hood, born in a manger somewhere? You know? Come on, man. A carpenter's son?
No, I was just saying that. Come.
No rich man. The scriptures talk about how he did, like in Christ said, foxes have holes, birds have nests, but the Son of Man have nowhere to lay his head. A homeless man.
Right.
Yeah. But anyway, you didn't want to heed to that person's voice because he didn't come as a wolf in sheep's clothing. You know, he didn't come, in the three-piece suits and the Cadillacs and fly away on the jet. But you're going to learn the lesson nonetheless. Go ahead.
So God, he will not regard any ransom. Neither will he rest content, though thou givest many gifts.
Right. Nobody care. All the gifts you gonna be trying to, man, I'll give you this, man. I promise I'm sorry for doing what, because the brothers know it's ruined. He found out you slept with this woman, he ain't gonna never forget that. He's never gonna be able to lay with that woman the same again. It's not like I said, it's the men and women are not the same.
Right.
Any brother that's cool with his woman sleeping with another man and still wants that woman, he has some homosexual tendencies.
Right.
He's half homosexual.
Right.
That's what that's about. No man wants that. He don't like women. Them pimps don't like women. They not really liking them women. They don't care about them women.
Right.
All the men they let sleep with the women come back and sleep with them. Homosexual tendencies.
So like
Good.
all those so-called breaks and separation.
Well,
Yeah, good man.
look, man. If you okay with it, like I said, and we are the scriptures advise. It's not us. I used to advise people, don't if you cheat on your dude, don't go back. It's over. It's over. Only reason that you might have some type of some type of need that he has, for you. You know what I'm saying? It must be financially. Maybe he'll be homeless without you. Something to where he needs you in his life. Because soon as he get rich and get the bag, you are finished. Or he gets some money and he get on his feet, you are going to be the scum of the earth. He's suffering you. But the scriptures say after your woman lays with another man, don't touch her again. Don't lay with her again. She becomes that man's wife or no man's wife. She's for the streets. Like Christ told that woman, no, yeah, you don't got one husband, you got 5 husbands. You for the streets. But that's that. Let's get back to it though. Did you have something? Somebody had to answer? All right. No, okay. So
So if I may say this one thing, if it is relevant. Like what Adonai Kodash is speaking about is the scripture in Deuteronomy that pretty much says that so pretty much if this woman sleeps with another man that that's not her husband, right? And you take this woman back to sleep with her, you are in sin because you're sleeping with someone else's woman.
mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Right.
And that's punishable by death.
Right. And that's what they're about. Or she becomes for the streets. I said that
if I may, for the highway.
For all that, because she has multiple husbands.
Right.
But it's a suicide mission for cowards. When you want to sleep with another, like I said, you want to sleep with a man's woman because somebody slept with your woman and you was too much of a coward to do anything about it, or to just say, hey, move on. You had a whore, and just move on. And you were saved from that situation.
Right.
Hey, I found out she was a whore. I'm done with it. Now I'm saved. Go ahead, you have something?
Hey, those type of ones like that, you think them ones got diamonds or something wrong with them?
Which ones?
The ones that sleep with multiple mans.
Well, people have problems, right?
Right.
Just like, we've all done things worthy of death. The grace has been graceful to all of us. We've all done things in our lives that was worthy of death. So there's no saying, worse than another, but that person will be put to death just like a drug dealer, okay? Just like a drug addict, just like an alcoholic. And they're gonna get put to death just the same. Just like you look at that person as, man, this person just won't stop being a hoe. Like, man, that's just how you should look at every person. This person just won't stop selling drugs. This person just won't stop doing drugs. They just need to die. And that's why they do. That's why they die from overdoses or from liquor poisoning and different things like that, or from cancer, because they won't stop getting high. They won't stop smoking. They won't stop these things. So yes, that woman, they deserve death just like everybody else who sins against the Most High, right? All right.
I had a precept based on what he asked and how you respond, if I may.
Yeah.
1 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 13. There have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
Right. Yeah, that's what I referenced earlier. You're right. It's nothing that has taken you that is uncommon.
Right. Yeah, I heard you say
it's been hoes since the beginning of time, drug dealers, drug addicts, and for blacks, Hispanics, and natives, we are just being of our father, the devil.
Right.
When you act like that. That's what Christ told the Sadducee and Pharisee. You are of your father, the devil.
Right.
You're acting like your father. That comes from them.
Right.
All these things that we're going through, it's normal in our community, the drug addiction, the gang banging, and it's normalized now.
Right.
But that wasn't us. Gang banging came from, Al Capone them and John Gotti them and, all of Italian mob them. That came from them. Drug addiction came from them. fighting and warring and rape robbing, that came from them. That's how the oppressor enjoyed his wealth on this earth and gained his wealth and prosperity. You know, that mindset, you think, oh man, I'm gonna be like Jay-Z and I'm gonna get the bag and become a businessman. That was Al Capone then.
Wow.
That was the white man then who hustled and sold liquor during the prohibition. You know what I'm saying? When liquor was illegal and made businesses afterward. I think they said that's what Al Capone was money laundering because they called it, he used to buy laundromats to mask the money that he would act like he was running a laundromat. But it's $1 million coming out this laundromat every week. You know, ain't nobody washing $1 million worth of clothes, man. Right. You know what I mean? But that's what money, but that comes from them thinking you can wash your money, you know, sell all the weed you can, sell all the dope you can, and then flip it over into becoming an entrepreneur. That's white people's culture. It's like the oppressors' culture and customs. Okay? But keep on with that.
Come. There have no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
But such as is common. This is everyday thing is common.
Right.
It's normal.
Right.
So what you going through and you thinking, oh, why me? Why me? And everybody goes through stuff. You complaining about shoes to somebody with no feet. You complaining about your heat to somebody with no house. You know what I mean? Like, come on, man. Be thankful for the things you do have instead of complaining about the things that you don't.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, well, I can tell you how I show. All right?
Come. But God is faithful, who will not suffer you to be tempted above that ye are able.
Right. The Lord's going to give you a way out.
Right.
You know, the Lord going to always give you a way out. When you say, the Lord let this happen to me, no, you let it happen to you. The Lord gave you the way out. And right now, this is your way out. Now you hearing it. You hearing it right now, like, oh man, these brothers is, speaking some truth, but you're not going to listen. Like the scripture, you're not going to hearken onto the voice, are you? Well, I guess we'll see. The Lord always gives you a way out. You know what I'm saying? Other situation when you think you absolutely have to do that, you don't have to do what you just did. You had a way out. If you think back to that moment before you made the decision that ruined your life, think about how many opportunities you had to leave that situation. But you was too prideful. You was too prideful, too self-centered.
Right.
To take that other way out. It was beneath you at the time. But now you would take that chance with a heartbeat now, right? I get it. With a heartbeat, you would take that deal because you see what your pride has got you. Like the scripture, the pride coming before destruction. The Lord gave you a way out of that situation, but you were too prideful to take it. Right. So don't blame the Lord for your mess ups, F ups, or you know what I mean? Don't blame the Most High for that. Blame yourself. Look in the mirror and say, I'm a coward, and next time I won't be.
Right. That's right.
Okay? That's what you do. You lost the battle to the weed. You lost the battle to the alcohol. You lost the battle to the whoredom. You did. But the Lord ain't put you to death yet. Maybe he's letting that cancer simmer right there for a minute. Maybe he's letting that AIDS simmer right there for a second to see if you're going to do better this time before he let it become, or the HIV before he let it become full-blown AIDS, or that cancer before, he let it at that one stage where you can get it done before he let it destroy you. We want to give you a chance to, where you can defeat it if you prove yourself worthy of his mercy. Okay, so don't take it for granted, man.
Right.
You never know, Don't take it for granted. But so that's it on that, man. We're gonna get back to these.
Just one more part. You kind of said it.
I did. Go ahead. Let's do it.
Go ahead. But will with the temptation also make a way to escape, that ye may be able to bear it.
Right. That's that. That's what we just said. You will have your way out if you're not too prideful.
Right.
Too cold hearted, hard-hearted. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Too stiff-necked. That's right. Yeah. You get your way out. You wouldn't have got killed on that corner if you would have took that job at McDonald's. Right. You wouldn't have been out there. Right. You know what I'm saying? If you would have just stuck it out. If you wouldn't have, smoked that last blunt. You know, you wouldn't have been laced with fentanyl that time. You know, you could have not did. You could have went and got that prescription from the doctor that you've been told to go get. But you decided to take that chance, and now look at you. But no, but we'll see, man. You know, Lord be with you. Go ahead, Bree. So we're going back to these homosexuals, these imposters and posers, whose countenance is in contrary to the Lord, whose content is contrary to the Lord, and whose conduct is absolutely was contrary to the Lord. And this is why they got what they got out there. You know what I'm saying? And that's not just them. This whole thing goes with Creflo Dollar, the Benny dude, and all you other Christians who are too prideful to call and say you sorry for the things you said about us, because we always stood on we have the truth.
Right.
We're not coming in here talking about, man, you know what? We all fall short of the glory. You know, I didn't know that I wasn't supposed to be robbing y'all blind like that for them tithes. I heard a story. He came in the church talking about, man, I wish I could get an Uzi and shoot everybody who don't pay tithes.
Good, nice.
Yeah, that's why he said burn. He told everybody to burn all the videos, destroy any videos you have of me teaching about collecting tithes.
Oh, you know, I seen an article, but I didn't know what he was talking
Yeah,
about.
he was talking about. They say he came to church talking about, man, I wish I could have a Uzi and shoot everybody who don't be sowing seeds and paying tithes. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
He came in there like that, allegedly. I ain't seen that one, but this is I'm gonna start calling him, because I heard his last name ain't even Dollar. Like that was like a made up name.
If I may select, Benayala broke that down.
Yeah, so his name ain't even that. So I'm gonna just change his first name. Instead of Creflo, it's gonna be Klepto. Klepto Dollar. He's stealing your dollar. You know what klepto is, right?
Yeah,
Klepto. For anybody who don't know, klepto is a kleptomaniac is a person who has a disease of stealing.
Yeah,
No matter how much money they have, they just addicted to stealing. And so Klepto Dollar is a
and he would name himself close.
right. His first name was Logan too. It wasn't even Klepto.
I don't think so.
Good man. I knew the last name Dollar. He added that, but I didn't know it was a person. But Creflo is Klepto. He is Klepto Dollar. I don't know if anybody else has said that yet. It seems like somebody should have, but I ain't heard it. You know what I'm saying? But if somebody else said it, so lucky you got it first. But if not, you know, I'm Klepto Dollar, kleptomaniac. If you don't know what it is, it's kleptomaniac is a person that's sicking with stealing. Okay? But if somebody else already did that one, go ahead. Y'all got it. But I just ain't heard it.
Actually, you know what's crazy? I guess that's his real name.
Which one? No, he changed his name. It is his name.
I was gonna say, I think his first name was Michael Smith.
No, that's what I'm saying. No, his original name, he changed it. He changed his name to Creflo Dollar. Like, I think he legally did. Okay, yeah, like it's his name. You look him up now, it's his name. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, it says his real name used to be Michael Smith.
Oh, good. See?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. But
I gotta find that video where he broke that shit down too. Good night. Yeah, you ready, sir?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, it's almost done.
All right, Luke chapter 10, verse 27. And he answering said, Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart.
Was y'all warm in here? Everybody cool? You better turn the AC on. It's right there in that room right there. Just you could just hit it on. Should lock it. It works right in here, right on the wall right there.
Oh yeah, God.
All right. Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy strength, and with all thy mind, and thy neighbor as thyself.
Right. This is what could have saved IUIC, Creflo Dollar, if they really did this, if they really loved their neighbor like themselves, if they really believed these scriptures,
right?
If they really believed in Christ, if they really did, this could have saved them from that well-whooped ass they got out there. because it was well whooped. I'm talking about, man, I'm talking about bloody. They got beat bloody out there by Christian women with the heels, with shoes. They got beat up bad out there, man. It was shameful. Hold your point 1 second. Go ahead.
Go.
Verse 28, and he said unto him, this is Christ speaking, thou hast answered right, this do, and thou shalt live.
Right, this do and thou shalt live. Them brothers could have been put to death out there. That man had a gun pointed at them. They could have went out.
Right.
You know what I mean? But even though the Lord was with them Christians, he let them Christians beat the snot out of them. He had some mercy on them.
Right.
And what they should do is humble themselves up and give it up and pack it in and say, you know what, we need to come and learn how to really be man of the Lord and
Right.
ISUPK and fall into these ranks and get it figured out.
Right.
And learn what you should really be doing out here. Because that ain't it. All right, keep going.
Come. Verse 29, but he, willing to justify himself, said unto Yahushua, and who is my neighbor?
All right, who is my neighbor? And that's what people say all the time. What does that mean? Who is my neighbor? Like, you know, it's not this brother who just you know, sold me drugs and things like that. They think the white man who comes like Joe Biden smiling in your face is your neighbor.
Right.
But really, it could be the person who has been real with you and not throwing bricks and hiding their hands, so to speak.
Right.
You know, because this person come in your face and smile in your face and act like they care about you don't mean they really is your people. You know, they could be of their father, the devil. Thus says the Lord.
That's right.
Okay, go ahead.
Come. Verse 30, and Yahushua answered and said, a certain man went down from Jerusalem to Jericho and fell among thieves, which stripped him of his raiment and wounded him and departed, leaving him half dead.
What?
Verse 31, and by chance there came down a certain priest that way, and when he saw him, he passed by on the other side. Verse 32, and likewise a Levite, when he was at the place, came and looked on him and passed by on the other side. Verse 33, but a certain Samaritan, as he journeyed, came where he was, and when he saw him, he had compassion on him. Verse 34.
I'm trying to see if this, because this might be the one I'm exactly speaking about, but let's keep going. Let me see something.
I know this also from the scriptures.
Go ahead.
And went to him, to like verse 34, and went to him and bound up his wounds, pouring in oil and wine, and set him on his own beast.
Right. So this is, I don't know, the one I'm speaking about is when the demons had told the brother, like, I know y'all. Like when the demons came into the prophets, he said, man, I know y'all. Go on, keep going. It probably coming up. Then he was like, I know y'all. I remember y'all. Go ahead.
I think you say I know Christ, but I don't know y'all.
I know y'all, right. I know when the Lord is, but I don't know y'all. And that's why he, you know, he got down on them and whooped them like that. He got down on them, man. That's the one I'm looking for that reminded me of this. Salaki.
Hold on, so give me a second.
Let me see. Let me see if it's
I
over
got
there.
it. I'm sorry.
Okay. I'm like, hold on, man. I know the one I was looking for. Let's see if this is. That was a good one, though. You know, but that's not the one. Where
Okay, yeah, that's Acts. Acts 19:15. Now I know what's up. I haven't seen this since I was 50.
it's been a while, man.
Yes.
But that's why I couldn't remember exactly how it started.
Hold on, just give you like.
No, you got to bear with us for 1 second. We just want to get this for y'all, man.
Yeah, this has to be where you trying to go?
Right there, like, yeah. Let's go ahead and get to it. We can get to it now because we're running a little bit. But we too long. Go ahead. Let's get it.
All right, yeah, let me go back.
A little context.
Acts chapter 19, verse 12. So that from his body were brought unto the sick handkerchiefs or aprons, and the diseases departed from them, and the evil spirits went out of them. Verse 13. Then certain of the vagabond Jews, exorcists, took upon them to call over them which had evil spirits the name of the Lord Jesus, saying, we adjure you by Jesus whom Paul preacheth. Verse 14.
Yeah, that's it. So you heard him say the vagabond, they came through trying to act like they was of the Lord. They coming in the name of Christ.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's what they did. You know, that's what the fake Israelites do. That's what they do. They don't even want to say Yahweh Shai's name in the Hebrew. They just want to go strictly with Christ.
Right.
But anyway, go ahead.
Go on. Verse 14. And there were 7 sons of one Sceva, a Jew, and chief of the priests, which did so. Verse 15. And the evil spirit answered and said, Jesus I know, and Paul I know, but who are ye?
Right. You know what I'm saying? The evils, the spirits out there, them demons, when you go on them streets, they know who to play with and who not to. They know who is of the Lord, who's, because they can see it in the spirit realm. You know, like I forget which prophet that was that asked the Lord to show him what the people saw. It's Joshua. He said, man, show him. And then he showed him, and then he saw, he was like, because this great nation was coming towards him to battle, and he was getting scared. He like, man, we are few. He like, you don't see who is with you. And he asked to see it, and then he showed it, and the Lord showed him, and it was like chariots and angels and horses all around him in the spirit that he couldn't even see. You see what I'm saying? But you were too much of a coward to know that the Lord will be with you like that. You know what I'm saying? In times like that. But it's also because these brothers, they didn't believe. They was of their father, the devil, and they wanted to come in, you know, and the demons saw that the Lord wasn't with them.
So like Elisha.
Elisha, okay, yeah. Yeah, Elijah and Elisha.
Yeah. He had prayed that that his brother can see what he can see. I think he told the brother, close your eyes.
Oh yeah, because it was one of the people who was with him who was scared. Like
Exactly.
Like he like, man, you scared?
Yeah, he's like, close your eyes. You know, pretty much. You know, he was praying, and then he was like, man, like young man, like open up your eyes.
Right.
And he looked in the sky. He saw everything.
Everything. Yeah. He told him, "Oh, you scared, huh?" Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But I read it, I was just like, oh. It just, like, man, it was so cold-blooded. Yeah, it was so cold-blooded. I never forgot it. Like I said, when I read it, like you said, it resonated with the spirit.
If I mix like nostalgia.
Yeah.
I learned that when I was like the 50 or 500.
Yeah, man, because you coming into the truth, you getting into this truth.
Yeah. You
got to put your life on the line. And and what you got to know is that if you really living your life like the Most High wants you to live it, man, the Lord is going to be with you. And all of those things, like that brother opened his eyes, I can imagine what he saw. Like Elisha saw, man, and saw the angels that was with him. But you got to think about it the other way, like these brothers have to suffer today when the Lord ain't with you. You know what I'm saying? When you're doing things that's contrary to the will of the Most High. Go ahead, you have something?
When I go around my peace and eyes, they look at me like I'm not there.
Yeah. And then, the Lord can blind people from you sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You ain't seeing it. It can absolutely happen. Because they can be demons who don't mean you no good. And it's good, but attention whore or a nigga who is, attention seeking will want to, will make it like, I want you to see me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Now I'm finna make a scene. I'm finna, show my, now, okay, I was walking around, nobody was bothering me. But you know what I'm finna do? I'm finna throw on them booty shorts like everybody else was throwing on. You know what I'm saying? I'm finna get looked at. I'm finna throw on his cleavage. And now Freaky Jason then came and snatched you into the black van because you wanted to wear the booty shorts and get titties out. You know what I'm saying? Or you wanted to be out there now, showing off everything you got. Now these brothers that fell on you. You know what I'm saying? Now you out there get beat with high heels and get your clothes ripped off you. You know what I'm saying? Got your nakedness exposed. It's terrible, man. It's absolutely terrible. All right? But
If I may read that verse 16.
go ahead.
Yeah, come.
No, I wanna finish getting this so they can. He said, did he say what that demon did to them yet?
Oh, I'm gonna get that.
Oh, okay, right, yeah. We
Yeah.
gonna keep going for that, yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, go.
Verse 16. And the man in whom the evil spirit was leaped on them and overcame them.
Right. He leaped on them and overcame them. That's what happened to them out here. That demon on them Christians leaped on them and overcame them. They had them called in, back up and everything. They out there getting beat, could have been put to death. It was terrible and embarrassing. That demon leaped and overcame them because the demon told them, Christ I know, Paul I know, but y'all, you know what I mean? Who are you? Like these are the, I don't know why this popped in my head, but you know, people like, these are the prophets of the Lord, but what are those?
Yeah.
You know, what is that? What are these? Who are you? Oh no, man, but go ahead, keep going with that.
Go. And prevailed against them, so that they fled out of that house naked and wounded.
That's what I was talking about, beat them out their clothes. Them demons beat them out their clothes. They, you know what I mean? And that's what them Christians did out here. I'm talking about they was stripping them out there, beating them out their clothes. It was terrible, man. That's what's happening with the Christian church in the spirit right now. They getting beat, they getting exposed. Their nakedness is being exposed. They're looking vulnerable out there. Talk about you didn't know no better. I'm still learning. Man, you've been doing this for 30, 40 years. No, give up the church. Give it up. Talking about you humble. Give up the church and lay it down and come learn. If you didn't learn something so simple as that, because we go what we call them, that's milk. Tithes, they're milk scriptures. You are babies. Those are milk scriptures. You don't know that you don't know that you can't just say, I'm keeping the tithes law, but none of the other ones. Those are baby scriptures. But they would rather give up the tithes than to keep the whole law.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They're gonna give up the money too, than to keep the whole law. But really, it's not even that. That's the fake nice guy. You know what I'm saying? Goofies is gonna make them want to give more. You know what I mean? Like, oh, look at him. He's just so humble and we just need to give him whatever. We forget time, it ain't about time. I just want to, man, he gonna get even more for the goofy bro. You know, it's so, oh my God.
If I may slide, you said the same exact thing that Commander John said.
Right.
One day.
And that's what it is. You know, this is one body.
Triple ties. You know what I mean? I mean,
it's gonna be one. It's gonna be, but it's so obvious though.
It really
it's
is.
like it's so obvious what you're really trying to do.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna give up the money. Yeah. You've been teaching for 30. It just don't make it. It don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It's what I like to call the underlay for the overplay.
Right.
You know, the sleight of hand. You know what I mean? It's man, you are being hoodwinked, bamboozled, run amok, like the great what his name Malcolm said. You know what I mean? But it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. It's very embarrassing. It's very embarrassing what's going on with these fake Israelites, Christians. But finish with that. Read that part again. He said, what happened to him? He said, I know you, but Christ I know. They know the man of the Lord. They know Christ and all the men of the Lord who follow Christ. That's what they were saying. Like, right. I know Christ. And I know, because he said Christ and Paul, right?
Yeah, he said Christ and
The
Paul.
demon said, I know Christ and Paul. So not only do I know Christ, but I know the man that follow Christ. We are the men of the Lord here, and I actually began to command you in my own.
That's right.
Thus says the Lord.
Man, right. That's right.
I can tell you how I was shot, man. You know, It's terrible.